Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Hashem, Rakak, Dash, double honors unto the elder apostles of great most son who rule well, and Shalom to the whole full elect. This is Paya Allah, and the title of this video is Inauguration Day, alright? And today, January the 20th, or the 20th of January 2025, Donald J. Trump was inaugurated as President of the United States, alright? Which in the Bible we understand the United States to be Babylon the Great. All right, um, that pertains to the kingdom of Esau. All right, the woman that the harlot that sat upon many waters, or sat upon the beast with the 710 horns, which is the EU and NATO. All right, the EU being the seven, uh, no, NATO being the seven heads, and the EU being the ten horns. And basically, um, and this man being established upon back in the throne, he's basically, this may be the last inauguration day, right? Because there's been a lot of chatter in the lead up to him being voted into office that he might be the last president. All right, that's been mentioned a few times. Now, with that being said, um, he, he is a chief, head in the form of over a figurehead over the nation of East Edom, all right, or E. Now, with that being said, when you read in the Bible dictionary, it's under the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, under the E's entry, it basically says E uh, uh, stands, a place of great judgment, you know. So basically, yeah, it's basically one of them places where it's just like, I'm sick, my mind is straight. This is that place that's being spoken of as America. All right. So Trump, all right, as we said when he first took the helm as the president of the United States of America, Trump, his last name, Nero reincarnated, and Trump, when you hear the word Trump, you think of the last Trump spoken of in the book of First Corinthians, the 15th chapter. All right, and this man, I was reasoning with a relative of mine, and he was like, "Yeah, Trump definitely won that last election. They probably that's probably why he let them people loose on January 6th, um, because Trump exudes all the characteristics, that proud bald eagle of America. All right, he is the bright spirit of America. He's in tune with America. All right, today was inaugurated, so let's read a little bit about it. Um, let's go here. What's the first one? Alright, so this is a BBC. Oh, it's a live update as well. From the BBC.co.uk, it says Donald Trump vows immediate blitz of orders as presidency begins. Alright, so let's read these pointers. Donald Trump has been sworn in as the 47th U.S. president. Follow his inauguration day. The golden age of America begins right now. Right, so his whole thing is to make America great again. Now, when was America great? All right, when the so-called blacks was in slavery, the so-called Native American Indians and the Seminoles were um, subject, had their land stolen, and they thrived off free labor and land gotten by the edge of the sword. All right, so that gives you an insight into what America, what making America great again. And in all honesty, that golden age of America, all right, it was a really, we spoke about it. It's the same thing. He said his inaugural address, adding that he will be a peacemaker and a unifier. All right, and that's truly in the spirit of America. Let me actually read this quickly, since he mentioned that in the book of Jeremiah. Actually, I don't know what was there. Oh no, okay, I don't need that. I know I'm mixing the two. It's the book of Jeremiah 1 and 13. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me the second time, saying, what seest thou? And I said, I see a seething pot, all right, otherwise known as a what? A mixing bowl, a mixing pot, a melting pot, all right, a melting pot is the main thing that people will refer to as America, all right. That's why New York, the Empire State, really, technically, even though it isn't the capital, it's the capital, all right. It's like a de facto capital due to it exuding the spirit of America, all right, with Lady Liberty and whatnot. And the face thereof is toward the north, all right, North America. Okay, so he's really coming in that spirit of America. In the coming hours, Trump is set to declare a national emergency at the US Mexico border, declare drug cartels as terrorists, and scrap government diversity programs. But he won't announce tariffs on trade partners yet, officials say. Tech billionaires, cabinet nominees, and former presidents were all swearing in, all at the swearing in ceremony in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol. Minutes before Trump took the oath, Joe Biden issued pardons for members of his family, which is crazy. All right, they said that's something that you don't usually do. A fiery speech for Trump as he throws jabs and makes promises. So yeah, we can go into a bit more. But with the fact that tech billionaires were present says a whole lot, man. Says a whole lot. All right, so uh, let's get some more information. So this is the inauguration day. Let's look up the word inauguration day. So
Inauguration Day.
I don't know why I did that. Um, so yeah, it says inauguration day. A day which a person is formally admitted into office. That's what basically has happened with Donald J. Trump. He's been sworn in for the second time into office, and now he's taking the reign as the 47th president of America. All right, but there's a deeper meaning to the inauguration day. So let's get some let's summarize it with this, and then I might delve into a bit more information. Actually, all the information might be here. All right, let's see. So this is from Etam Online. Inauguration ceremonial investiture with office. Act of solemnly or formally introducing or setting in motion anything of importance or dignity. 1560s. The French inauguration, installation, consecration, and directly from late Latin inauguratium, inauguration, inaugurationum, nominative inauguratio, consecration. All right. So this is a holy thing that's being done. Someone's being consecrated, presumably originally installment under good omens, right? So good omens, all right. So this shows you the spiritual factor of this inauguration. All right, everyone. So, like you had the tech giants, like tech billionaires present at the swearing in of Donald Trump. So you have science is, revered as the mindset of today. There's no such thing as religion, all this hocus pocus stuff, this witchcraft and all that. That's all, of the ancient days. Science is the thing, all right? We don't serve, faith, but we still serve logic and, facts and figures, all right? So with that being said, the point is that that's the mindset of the people, all right, whereby they think that at the end of the day, science is chief. But the reality of what of of this thing here, all right, when you deal with modern day era, science is a god, all right. It's part of the belief system of this world, all right, and it really is actually witchcraft, all right. It's just idol worship in a new form, all right, that's been packaged. There's no new thing under the sun. All right, it's just being presented under a new guise. All you gotta do is harken back to the minds of to back that point up. Um, science. I always misspell science. Science, yeah. Okay. Uh, okay. Yeah, that's it. That's what I want. Let me just check this. So it's the book of First Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. Right, actually, let me pull this up in the BL, the blue letter. One sec. Alright, let's read it. Alright, so let's read it in LT. It says First Timothy 6:20. Timothy, guard what the Most High has entrusted to you, avoiding godless, foolish discussions with those who oppose you with their so-called knowledge. Alright, because the word science goes back to knowledge. Alright, but let's keep the word science there in place of knowledge. So it says, Timothy, guard what the Most High has entrusted you. Right, what has the Most High entrusted Timothy with? The gift of faith. Alright, without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High. But that's a gift through the grace of Yahweh Shai, through the name of the Heavenly Father. Alright, through his sacrifice, he gave us grace, which bestowed us with faith. All right, the gift of faith, or allows us to engage with the gift of faith. All right, mercifully. Okay, and this is something that's been blessed onto you, and that you have to be, take care to. So that's why it's Paul is saying this to Timothy. I read again. God, what the Most High has entrusted to you. All right, so take good care of it. Avoid godless, foolish discussions with those who oppose you with so-called knowledge. So our sentiment is anyone that don't, if if you don't believe this word, then that's it, man. We keep it stepping. All right. Even we understand, like we're doing our job, right? Teaching, and every ear is gonna hear it. But we're not gonna come up to everyone and, you know, engage with everyone, But it says avoid godless, foolish discussions with those who oppose you with their so-called knowledge, with their science. All right. We're being told to avoid them. All right. There's another scripture I was gonna read. Oh, that's right. And you had the point of Pharaoh. All right. Where Moses done these miracles, and then the priests they basically you know showed their miracles as well. Uh, that's fairness. Bear me one moment. That's it, the sorcerers. This is the one we want. Alright, so let's read into. So I'll read to the point. That's worth reading these examples, because it really just shows you, demons leap, how demons harden the minds of these people on the earth, that they hear the word and are receptive to it, but then, as it says in, the Lord spoke about it, but by and by, the moment that they, catch it, it be snatched from the air, loosely paraphrasing. So this is Exodus 8 and 16. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did so, for Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beasts, and all the dust of the land became lice throughout the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beasts. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of the Most High. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord Yahweh had said. Right, so basically these magicians more or less understood and were aware of, they had their little tricks, their mysticisms, their enchantments, that are able to, not to do it to the scale and level that Moses did with the various previous miracles, but somewhat to the point where it made Pharaoh feel at rest in his mind. But they even plainly said when they saw this miracle, they plainly said, "Look, we may last, but we tried to, but we can't do it." All right, and they basically bowed down before the heavenly Father. And that's what all this science is of today. All right, let me read this before I go back to the article and some more information. And then, Lord willing, I'll close out. So it's a book of Isaiah 47:12. Stand now in thine enchantments, and with a multitude of thy sorceries where thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayst prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So this is what they're about. Now this leads back to what I was reading in Etam Online. So speaking about installment under good omens. Now when you deal with America, America is the second level of the Roman Empire. Alright, as it tells you in the book of Revelation, the 20th chapter, it speaks about for 1,000 year period. That old serpent, that dragon being bound up with the Roman Empire. But this kingdom right now that's ruling is the Roman Empire all over again. Right, with E at the helm, commanding the ship, steering the rudder. Alright. Now he's doing the same. This is why all these themes and ideals from Rome are being presented. Alright. And the installment under good omens, alright, is, God bless America. Alright. In God we trust. All these novus ordo seclorum. Alright. E pluribus unum. Out of many one. New World Order, right? Novus Order. All these different phrases are odes to. That's why they're in Latin. Are odes to Rome, and they're a personification of the gods of Rome. All right, just in the modern day era, which they worship. All right, so these good omens that Trump has been installed under only is Satan. All right. Noun of action for the past particle is that no. Take omens from the flight of birds, consecrate or install when omens are favorable, right? So they move according to science. That's why it speaks about monthly prognosticators and stargazers. And I believe, uh, uh, no, I thought there was something tonight, but there's not. All right. But the point being is that these things happen in tune with, and if it's not outright, things that's going on in the heavens, there's certain ceremonies that's being held, hence inauguration. All right, so it says installment under good uh omens, take omens from the flight of birds, consecrate or install when omens are favorable. All right, augurary to act as an augur predict. All right, inauguratio was in general the ceremony by which the augurs obtained or endeavored to obtain the sanction of the gods to something which had been decreed by man. All right. So basically, this inauguration, there's something, some form of acts or, ceremonies and seances and different sacrifices have been made before, prior to, or as Trump is being placed in office, and all the previous presidents. All right, this is their belief system. All right, so it says, in particular, however, it was the ceremony by which things or persons were consecrated to the gods. If the signs observed by the inaugurating priest were thought favorable, the decree of men had the sanction of the gods, and the auguratio was completed. All right, so I'll read this as well. The first paragraph. Augur, ancient Roman functionary whose duty was to observe and interpret auspices. Let's look up this word auspices. I hope I'm even pronouncing it right.
Auspice.
Auspice. Divine. So a diviner. All right. Let's read back on it. So an interpreted auspice is, prophetic tokens or reputed natural signs concerning future events. All right. And what's the most recent event that's been removed out of the media cycle that we could speak on? The LA fires, right? LA fires. So that's a prequel until what's to come. All right, wildfires, and they said it looks like an apocalyptic event taking hold of LA. So that gives you an idea of, that's the most recent omen prior to Trump taking office. All right. So it says Latin augur, a religious official in ancient Rome, perhaps divan, originally meaning an increase in crops enacted in ritual, in which case probably is from Old Latin augos, genitive augurius, increase, and is related to augury, increase. All right. So yeah, that's more or less the point. Might read a little bit of this because this article's good, but it may be worth you checking out. So it says this is from saintaugustine.eu.saintaugustine.com. All right, opinion piece. The secret lives of words column. Augury, inauguration, and Caesar Augustus. So that's a bit of history for you. All right. Um, so I read this little paragraph here. I'll probably read the first three paragraphs or four paragraphs. So, regardless of political persuasion, we Americans are generally an optimistic lot, and usually, though less so of late, inclined to hope for the best during presidential inaugurations, and even once the new leadership is in place. We've been peacefully inaugurating US presidents on January 20th every 4 years since 1937, and on March 4th before that. But the tradition of inaugural rituals, with all their pomp and circumstance, dates back to ancient Rome. Right, so this really shows you that this kingdom that we're presently in is the reincarnation of um, Rome. All right, so let me read this in the book of Daniel. What am I doing? Book of Daniel, chapter 2. Mm, I'll start from 40 into 40, down to 43. So it's Daniel 2 and 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all things shall it break in pieces and bruise. I speaking about the Roman Empire. Alright, it subdued all the earth before it with the phalanx battle rank system or war strategy. And I hope I'm saying it wrong. Alright, I hope I'm wrong. Right. I always get them mixed up. Phalanx, I believe it is. All right, and that's why you have the old saying that goes, all roads lead to Rome. All right, because everywhere in the world where they went and conquered, the road led back to Rome, in that they took all the booty from the various kingdoms they conquered. Verse 41. Whereas thou sawest the feet and toes part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, and there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, whereas at strength, alright, for as much as thou sawest iron mixed with a miry clay, and as the toes were of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly weak. That's where you have the brick system, Portugal, Ireland, uh, Italy, Greece, Spain, they are the weaker parts than the other parts of Europe that pertain to the beast system and America. All right, being a strong, all right, being partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, They shall mingle themselves with one seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with iron clay. So right, they're together now, but they're not mixing, properly. Because ultimately, there's gonna come a moment in time where they're all gonna turn on America. All right. So freedom. So it says, so this just shows you that this is the extension of that Iron Kingdom. All right, mixed with miry clay, and that's why it speaks to all of them. The Western societal systems regard Rome as, the foundation of their system. All right, elections and other important public activities were sanctioned by a ceremony Romans called inauguration. The procedure involved secret rites of augury, presided over by a college of 16 priests known as augurs. All right. Church and state are separate in the US, but in Rome they were intimately fused. Right. And that goes into that science. That's why they had tech guys there. That's the new, new so-called priests or part of that new system. But everything's dealt with logic and, their gods are present, but it's just to the unseen eye. All right. Church and the state are separate. To qualify for selection to the augural college, one must uh, already have held high political office and be a member of the Senate, which, together with the popular assemblies, governed the empire. The abbreviation SPQR, title of a superb recent history of Rome by Cambridge professor Mary Beard, was posted on public buildings throughout the Mediterranean as a reminder of the shared authority of the Senate and the Roman people. All right. Senatus Populus Romanus, a senatorial popular, or of the cause Rome. All right. Statesman Marcus Tullus Cicero, who rose from the obscure origins to become Rome's president in 63 BC. The Roman actually had co-presidents called consuls, all right, who served a 1 year term and had veto power over each other. Was appointed augur late in his career. The president's responsibility was to take the auspice, a form of divination, and thus inaugurate not only newly elected officials, but also the dedication of public buildings and the commencement of festivals and other civic functions. The auspice, from auspicing, bird watching, and a source of auspicious, involved observing the flights of birds or weather events and other celestial phenomena that might indicate the god's disposition towards the preceding at hand. See, and what we've been seeing so-called drones, all right, which we know, you know, Esau may be going under that guise, but we know that in the mix is the chariots of the Heavenly Father, and it serves as an omen, which I'll get to the point. I'll just steamroll through this. Well, you can read it, Zechariah 5:1. You know what it says, man. All right, because the main point of it says, that this is a curse that God forth over the face of the earth. All right. So it says, procedures could be simply, if the omen in auspicious, the augury might be repeated at a later date, or more conveniently, the procedures could simply be manipulated. Some nowadays might say rigged in order to guarantee the outcome. One divinatory practice involved observing the feeding of sacred chickens. The desired sign was that the birds should peck the food voraciously. which was ensured by caging and stuffing them before the ceremony. All right, see, there you go. Um, so yeah, that's the point. But it may be worth reading it for the history lesson. But I'm gonna close out with this scripture or two scriptures, and then we'll call it a day. So that's the book of Revelation 20. I mentioned it a couple times. 20:4. Bloody hell. I've mentioned it enough times, you know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna read it again. I ain't gonna read it since I mentioned it, but I'll read this though. This book of Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, the Lord Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. For the Lord Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land, and that I gave unto their fathers. Alright? So, inauguration. Lord willing, he was edified. Until the next one, say shalom. Shalom.